It's 9:46 at night. My son is asleep. The house is quiet. These are the hours when everything hits differently. When the distractions are gone and you can just be with your thoughts. That's when you figure out what's real. If you watch Monday's video and you commented, thank you. Really appreciate it. A few people have asked me, how do you keep going? Because that's something I've always said. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. And most recently, an Uber driver asked me that because I can't get into an Uber without just talking to another man about their experience as a dad, if they've had kids or if they don't have kids, just telling them what to prepare for if they think about having kids. My best friend can attest to this. He probably sick of taking Ubers with me. So I want to answer that tonight, honestly. There's no one thing for me that keeps me going outside of just knowing I have a responsibility and knowing that if it's for me to do, that God will give me the strength to do it. I talk to a lot of guys about just whatever they're going through. And in my situation, in my life, it's a big difference between the last few months and the last few years for me. I used to wake up and my first thought would be, this isn't a good morning. I used to think about everything I had to do, and I used to see it as this heavy weight. I used to see it as being in this dark hole. It was court, it was lawyers, the emails, trying to balance it out, trying to figure out the new normal, still trying to learn how to parent from a place of it's just you. You have to be there. You have to figure it out. All of this while still trying to show up as a happy, loving dad. Show up at work, show up in my friend group, show up, find a new relationship that I thought I needed at the time. There was a lot of days I would just sit in the car in the parking lot at work and just think, how does one get through this? But the difference was I've seen people get through this. I've seen people get through this firsthand. And it's just a matter of showing up and telling myself to keep going. It was a lot of nights that I was just so tired and trying to burn the midnight oil to the point that it made me sick. It made me sick. It was the emotions, it was the physical fatigue, it was the lack of eating. I think at my lowest, probably lost 40 pounds, which is crazy. But I lose weight fast, but still, 40 pounds is a lot. Then there were the days that I just went through numb to feelings and emotions, numb to everything, except for my son. That's one thing that I always was able to focus on. I was always able to win the morning. I talk about winning the morning on previous videos and how important it was to me, and it still is to me, that when he leaves me or when I drop him off at daycare or school, that he has a smile on his face and he knows that I love him. He knows that it's going to be a great day and that I'm looking forward to seeing him when I pick him up. It was important that when I got him out of bed, the first thing he sees from me is a smile. He gets a hug and just wakes up with the right energy to start the day. But people don't see this fight. People see you at the grocery store, they see you on social media, they see you at friend gatherings, and unless you been through an experience like this, it's kind of hard to know what it feels like. They don't see you staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. They don't see you trying not to break down in front of your kid at a playground when there's other families playing and you want to give that to your kid. You want to give your kid the world. So yeah, people ask me, and to me, it's just you make a decision. You make a decision in your brain, you make a decision in your heart, in your mind, that you're not gonna give up, that you choose resilience, that you choose to win, that you choose to fight, that you choose to keep pushing. Let me tell you about something that happened a few days ago. I have like this list of things that I need to teach my son. I feel like they're age appropriate things and things you just need to know as a boy going into becoming a man one day. Like you gotta learn how to ride a bike, learn how to tie your shoe, learn how to, go to a potty, like all that little stuff. But recently, like the shoe tying has been real frustrating. If you're dealing with anybody who's at that stage, know how it can be sometimes, because it's like he has the concept, but sometimes the dexterity isn't there, and at that age, they're so hyper focused sometimes on doing it themselves and getting frustrated and balancing those emotions. And so I know he knows the steps, and I had got him some new shoes, these Minecraft shoes that he loves. He's putting them on. I don't say anything. He's going through the steps, and he gets it. He ties his shoes. It's not perfect, but he understands the concept, and he executes it, and just needs a little bit of polishing, but he gets it. And it took a lot for me to not just, it was a proud moment for me, because it's like all the consistent, hey, you can do it, the patience and everything, and just watching him try, it paid off. And the smile he had on his face to see that he did it and he had got it right after so many times that was frustrated. Just had to give him a big hug, and we was screaming, we was jumping up around, ring around the rosies, throwing them up in the air, just going nuts. Or for just tying a shoe, which is something so small, but it's big in the grand scheme of things, That's one of the things somebody teaches you. That meant a lot. And it let me know that I'm doing the right things. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. It's like we have these routines, these things we do every day that he remembers now, and it just makes my day. There may be a moment where I might be distracted about other things going on in life, and he right on cue with our thing, and it just changes everything, and it just keeps me going. We get in the car in the morning. I know by the time we get to the street, he's gonna say once upon a time. That's because I used to always tell him stories in the morning, like make up stories, and he used to get a kick out of it. And then one day I was like, hey buddy, you got imagination, why don't you tell me a story? And he just went running with it. I think even when my mother came to visit and she was taking him to school, I think he was telling her stories, or I told him to, so I hope he did. But it's like those stories, that's our thing. He remembers it, and it means a lot to me. I hope he remembers it when he gets older. Some of the stories are really good. Some of them are crazy. I'd be like, how did we get here? And then when I pick him up, one thing that I'm always proud of is I get this big hug, right? Anybody who picks their kid up from school, normally you get like this giant big hug, and it's just the best feeling in the world. And then we get in the car, and he says, how was your day, Daddy? No matter how my day was, it doesn't matter, because at that point in time, my day's perfect. My day's excellent. My day's awesome. We talk, we get in the car, and if I forget to ask him how his day was, he definitely corrects me. Like the radio, traffic, a phone call, none of that happens. We gotta have our conversation. He said, you didn't ask me how my day was, and I tell you, it just means a lot. It means a lot to me. It really does. I remember when we first started, I used to think, how am I do all of this? How am I going to be able to be enough to do all these things to raise this young man? And I remember something my dad told me. They used to say, ain't nothing to it but to do it, I think about that, and as long as I'm attempting every day, then that's a step in the right direction, right? Because we figured it out. In the beginning, there was so much unknown. But now, not saying everything's perfect, but it's like clockwork. We have a routine, a regimen, everything's smooth, everything is love. Sometimes my phone, it does this thing. Everybody's phone probably does this when it shows you these memories. And I see these these memories from years ago when he was so little, and just see him now and how much he's grown. I think about his voice and all the days we went to speech therapy, and just seeing how far he came, even his speech. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to balance it all, but God worked it out. But moments like that, that's what I'm fighting for. Like, this is what I realized. You're fighting to give your kid a chance. Fighting to show my kid that I believe in him and that I'm always be in his corner. When you in a fight and you're looking for opportunity to land a strike, you're looking for opportunity to end it, you're looking for opportunity to win. Sometimes you get distracted, like you get hit and you feel that pain, you feel uncomfortable. For some, it's easy to give up or not want to fight no more. But when you have a goal and you tell yourself that you have to accomplish it, it's a motivation. One of my biggest fears was my son wouldn't know me or remember me as his dad. And I knew I couldn't let that happen. Like I knew that couldn't be an option. So that's one of the reasons why I had to fight so hard. I fought for those rides in the car, in traffic, just us talking, telling stories. I fought to hear his laugh. I fought for the moments to teach him how to tie his shoes, teach him how to ride a bike. I fought for all of that. So that's what keeps me going. It's not to feel like I'm winning. It's not to feel like I'm being right. It's not even like justice. It's just to be a dad who wants to be there, who's always wanted to be there from the beginning.